Jaiveer Shergill, national spokesperson of the BJP. You know, Jaiveer Shergill, interesting discussion here in the studio about why is it that the government is on asset monetization, for example, why has the government been unable to meet its targets? I mean, you have, as Rahul rightly put it, you know, arguably the strongest Prime Minister we've seen with a huge majority in recent times. Why is he not able to walk the talk? Why is he not able to push it through in the manner that one might have hoped?
Rajeev ji, thank you for having me on your show. To take your question straight up, if we did not have, and with utmost respect to all the feedback and opinion on by your esteemed panel, it is Prime Minister Modi's strong, crystal clear, crisp leadership, crisp economic policy that today IMF is pointing that India is the fastest growing economy, the third fastest growing in power purchasing parity. Bloomberg yesterday tweeted that India is set to take away or claim the global torch away from China. The truth of the matter is the BJP government has scripted a success story. Despite the headwinds of COVID and the Ukraine crisis, has not only kept India's head above the water, but has tamed the waves to script a success story. Number three, what has been achieved, what not has been achieved. I was hearing about, because the corporates are on board, ease of doing business. Number one, India has come from ease of doing business from rank 143 to 64 with 2,000 laws, obsolete laws which were removed. A lot has been done, a lot needs to be done. Number two, as far as highways are concerned, I was watching Rahul Kavalji at sharp 9 a.m. He himself projected on your screen that the highway network and the investment has increased exponentially. Has the government met the targets of budget 2022? Absolutely yes. Capex 7.5 lakh crore, direct tax, indirect tax collection. Then you come to public welfare scheme expenditure, Awas Yojana, Har Ghar Jal Mein, Nal Mein Jal, and then you have the village water development schemes. Then you have the agriculture food production hitting 312.2 million tons. Then you have FDI, you have Bloomberg, another report that $100 billion, India received the highest global remittances in that given year, $570 billion forex reserve. So the truth of the matter is BJP government knows the art of managing the expectations of each and every sector and balancing it with the global disruption.
Let
me assure you, let me assure you one thing. By the time the budget speech will be over, everybody will say, "Maza aa gaya."
You know, it's very worrying when you sort of raise expectations. I remember one politician saying ahead of the budget, always keep expectations low. Always. And that's the best way.
No, but that's the good thing about Nirmala Sitharaman. She's consciously working towards keeping expectations low.
No, she does, but you know, as you can see already, there is this attempt, you know, the drum beating does take place.
So when you are here, Udayar here, Dr. Lali, then expectations
is going to be, okay.
We just heard from the BJP. Let's hear from the Congress. Professor Gowda joins us. The government can claim that at a time of massive global uncertainty and choppy waters, they've been able to keep India as an island of macroeconomic stability, as the one big hope at a time when everybody else's economies are tanking, and that's the Modi government's big achievement. Would you give them that?
Not at all. I think we have to compare where India is today with our pre-pandemic trajectory. And when you look at that, you know, as it is, growth has been on a decline over many years under Modi Sarkar, and we are just catching up with that low number that was there prior to the COVID pandemic. So in that sense, you know, we have not really transformed, we have not reached the $5 trillion economy that was promised by last year by the Prime Minister. But more than that, just take all these numbers, and you know, my friend Jaiveer was, you know, essentially avoiding the question that you asked him. What happened to disinvestment, right? That's what happened to disinvestment is typical of what this government has not been able to deliver. They give you the headline numbers. They say this is going to be this massive target that we're going to achieve, and come nowhere close. No one asked those questions. You saw that when it came to COVID relief. You know, the world's highest level of COVID relief. Well, it turned out to be a fraction of that. You know, have we paid attention to the realities of what's going on within the country? You know, if you think yesterday's economic survey says, oh, we've recovered. Well, if this is recovery, God help India. Why? Because look at unemployment. Look at the fact that even with a rupee that has collapsed, you're not able to increase exports. Look at the fact that what you were discussing earlier, that the private sector is not investing. Why? Because they don't see demand picking up. They don't see consumption picking up. And they've obviously got enough capacity still, and they have to stay cautious. So if you look at all these factors, it's very clear